Hello, welcome to the queue. It is Operation Boston. It is Japan. It's turn 8. And there's our buy for 39. We got two scenarios there, so I don't have to do math on the fly. We got a militia and a militia upgrade, infantry, militia, marine, destroyer. We'll advance our carrier one stage. And then we have 14 left over. So it's either going to be, oh, well, that wouldn't be right. That's 12. If I succeed on construction, that would be, so I didn't do my math right. Doggone it. Well, here's 14 if I fail, advance or improve construction, is a tactical and an anti-aircraft gun. I'll have to either add a militia or maybe another marine. That's probably what I do is another marine. All right, let's roll these dice and see if we do change our buy. Construction Brothers and long range. Of course, the dice are way over here. All right, I don't want to roll left-handed, so let's roll 1 7 and 2 8s. We did get a 9. So we did get 1, which is improved construction. All right, so that will be done. That means this buy goes away. You know what? So from my 14 remaining dollars, we'll get 2 subs and that anti-aircraft gun, not that militia. That's what we'll do. All right. I may want to put that militia or anti-aircraft gun in rehe. We'll switch that around. All right. That's the buy. And let's do some combat. The Dutch East Indies have drawn the ire of the Japanese Empire. You know what? I need to get more dice. All right. There we go. All right. So, first, we got our seaplane from Siam. 1, 2 goes on map to go after that coastal sub and then destroy that transport. From the carrier, we've got a tactical coming over 1 into P61 going on map, along with our screening force. And our screening force will be this coastal sub here. I think that's P59. It comes down 1 to P60. We have a sub there. We have a torpedo boat destroyer. I got to see how many of these cruisers I'm going to allocate to this battle. What am I going to have here in Java? 5, 6, so I can have 6 bombards. So here's a battle cruiser. We've got our 2 battleships from P50, 1, 2. And that 1 heavy cruiser will come along. 1, 2. All right, so that is my 6 bombards. I'll put those over here so I remember to roll them, hopefully. All right, so that frees up this light cruiser here. Comes over 1, 2. He joins that battle. The heavy cruiser from P41, 1, 2, 3. And that should be enough, right? That's how I'm feeling it. All right, so these 3 transports will drop off all 6 units, which is 4 Marines, infantry, artillery into Java. We've got 1 transport grabbing a Marine from Siam, which will come down 1, 2. And I'll put him down here because he's not part of any of these combat, but he's dropping that Marine off into Lesser Sunda Islands. All right, we have a transport in P41, grabs that Marine from Kwangtung, down 1, grabs the artillery, 2, 3, drops those both units off in Dutch New Guinea. We have a destroyer from P50, grabs a Marine, 1, 2, and he'll drop him off on Celebes, or Celebs, however that is. All right, so we got our walk-on islands taken care of. All right, so we got an airborne marker here in Borneo. So the air transport will come over 1, 2, 3, and go back to Siam, dropping off the airborne. We have a destroyer in P50 grabbing a Marine, and he comes down 1 into P59 and drops off a Marine in Borneo. And then last we have this transport here in P50, which just grabs 2 Marines. Yeah, and does he stay there? No, he comes down as well into P59. Or does he? That means he will be there without a destroyer. I could bring the destroyer down from Japan, though. What's more important? We'll leave it there in P50. All right, so the 2 Marines will come over into Sumatra. All right, so let's do some aircraft. We've got 2 fighters on these carriers. They're going to come onto Java with a movement of 3 left. Then the carriers will come down here to P61. That's where the destroyer is. So I guess we will be there, just for grins. All right. Okay. I got 1 here, so that is a tactical from Cochin China. 1, 2, 3. He'll have 1 left. Then I got a fighter and a tactical coming 1, 2. Oh, that can't be right. I'm down in aircraft. Oh, I went up there with it. Oh well, that's the price you pay. So that means I got to split this fighter over here. What do I want on the carrier? I think I want the tactical on the carrier. Oh. That means I can't move both those carriers. Okay, I really messed up my flight markers there. Oh, no. This marker goes there, and this marker goes there. That's how it should be. Oh, but no, this guy's got to land on a carrier. So he goes back to there. So Java just gets two aircraft. And we're going to hope that our bombards do its job. All right, so that came off the carrier. Movement of 3 left. Movement of 3, but it doesn't need to go 3. All right, well, it is what it is. I thought it was going to be a little stronger, but it is not in Java. Never is. All right, so that's the combat. That's that combat. We got all our walk-ins. All right, I think we're good. I really need to get some bombard hits, or this is going to go south in Java. Doggone it. But I don't want that sub to escape, so... I wonder if I should change up my 2 7s to here. So the 2 tacticals came from Coach in China, 1, 2, 3, and they'll both have 1 left. That means on the carrier will be the 3 tacticals. That fighter can go back. This fighter that was here, well, he can still stay. He can still stay here. 1, 2, and then have movement of 3 left. 1, 2, 3. All right. So this dice should be there. All right. Not that that matters because it's a done deal. That looks better. All right. So 3 aircraft in Java, 1 Borneo, 1 Sumatra. All right. Target select. I think we are now ready. There's nothing in China. So we're good. All right. So we got to roll these naval battles first. Let's go after that coastal sub with a 3. Hey, we got it. Nice. And then round 2 of combat, we auto-destroy that transport. And then he'll go back to Siam. All right, so this one over here, we have our tactical bomber at a 7. That takes out the sub. Nice. Then we've got a coastal sub. Miss. Our torpedo boat destroyer. Miss. A regular sub. Miss. Light cruiser. Miss. Heavy cruiser. Hit. All right, so that's the 2. All right. So firing back will be the sub at a 3 and the destroyer at a 4. All right, well, that's a pretty bad dice. So that battle is over. No casualties. So far, so good. Let's roll off here into Borneo. I've got an airborne dropping and a marine. So the marine is at a 2. The airborne is at a 3. That hits. And for grins, the fighter hits as well. All right, so there is a militia there. And he misses. All right, so far so good. All right, if you could, it's something, maybe you could see that, what I'm doing there. All right, Sumatra, 2 Marines, and a fighter. So let's roll those. The fighter hits, that's all we need. And the militia comes back, almost hits. All right, so far so good. Here it comes. It's bombard time. 2 battleships and a battle cruiser. Dang it. 3 heavy cruisers. Now we did get 1. So 1 militia bites the dust. All right, so we've got, and then Java's the one that's mountainous, isn't it? Yeah. So we got 4 militia, or 4 Marines and 1 infantry. The artillery is round 2, if there's a round 2. Oh, we got 1 hit. Now we've got 2 tacticals and a fighter. Oh, come on. All right, so I guess that's the same dice. Militia coming back, 2 infantry. All right, well, at least they rolled as equally as bad as I did. All right, so round 2, the artillery comes on. So we've got 4 Marines at 1. Then we got an infantry artillery at a 2. There's a hit. And then we have the fighter and 2 tacticals. 2 hits, so that's 3. Yeah, that's all that's left. 3 hits. All right. Here it is. Militia, 2 infantry. Do we take any casualties? Okay, for all my whining, we did a flawless turn. Right? Yeah, I didn't lose anything anywhere. That's the casualty pile. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Japan's going to go up 9. Our improved construction was our only tech success. So that goes up. We go up 9 to 42. And the US gives up 2 dice. So let's see what they got here. Damn it. Every dice roll the Allies get is max. Well, I guess that's not maximum, but that's pretty damn good. So they go up to 47. So I was hoping they would be at least even. Ay, ay, ay. All right, so I think we're to the land. We do have one more roll. Suyon, it's a 1 for... Nice. All right, let's add a chip for Suyon, which is another infantry. Now I think we're done rolling dice. Let me get that out of the way here. I'll probably put all this on the card, task force marker, later. So Java is taken with 4 Marines, infantry, artillery. All right, so on the 2 carriers here, we've got to land this tactical, which went on map. This tactical had 1 left. This tactical had 1 left. This fighter had 3. 1, 2, 3 goes into Siam. This fighter had 3. 1, 2, 3 into Siam. This fighter had 2. 1, 2 into Siam. All right, so let's get all these markers out of the way. All right, that's the German convoying. Seaplane goes back 1, 2 to Siam. Well, all that fret, I should have left that transport there, but who could have known I was going to get that sub? Who? All right, non-combat. This coastal sub no longer has to go up there, so it'll come over 1 to P64 from P63. All right, we've already landed our air transport. That is a seaplane that bites the dust. All right, we have a destroyer, grabs a Marine, and he can move 3. And we'll just slide that over. 1, 2, 3, and he'll go in port in the Carolinas. We have a transport grabbing a Marine and an artillery from Kyushu. 1, 2, 3, and that goes into port in the Carolinas. The medium bomber comes from Tokyo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it doesn't matter because I got an air base. The fighter in Honshu. Well, we don't have anything really for him to do we? So he'll fly 1, 2, 3, 4 into Cochin, China. So I'm going to put these on this side so I know they're in Siam. And that one's in Cochin, China. Or do I want to leave it up there for the carrier? I can always fly it back next turn, in case there's some action coming that I don't realize. We're going to rail this mountain infantry from Rihe onto the card in Kwangtung. We took 1 out, put 1 in. Everything else is pretty much going to set put. I was going to bring down this torpedo boat destroyer. They don't really need to now. this light cruiser here, P-41, will come down to P-59. So we'll leave that torpedo boat destroyer up north. All right, I think I am done. Yep, we're done. So let's place our goods. We're going to move that carrier to stage 2. All right, so that comes off. We got 2 subs and a destroyer. Destroyer goes in P-15. Or does it? Would it be of more use in P-16? Well, the 2 subs go in P-16. I think we'll build that Marine in Honshu, the infantry in Kyushu, and the destroyer there in P-16. We've got our anti-aircraft gun goes into Rihe. We've got 1 militia, and then we have a militia upgrade. So the militia upgrade and militia go into Kwangtung. So that militia just goes off. And then we have 1 militia to place. Wonder where I wanted that militia. I guess Nanking seems like the best spot. All right, so that's it. So our cash now goes up to 42, which I don't have here. I'll have to get that from the other side of the board. So 42 plus 6 will be 48 next turn. Oh, so I do have 1 more than the Americans. Right? Yeah, they're at 47. Nice. All right, got to stay ahead of the Joneses. Let's do a recap, and we're done with Japan. Coastal sub in P-64. P-62 is a destroyer transport. Dutch New Guinea is a Marine artillery. Marine on Celebes. Lester Sundays has a Marine. Java's 4 Marine infantry artillery. Airborne Marine on Borneo. 2 Marines on Sumatra. P-59 is a light cruiser, destroyer, transport. Sub each in I-7 and I-12. P-61 is a battle cruiser, 2 battleships, 3 cruisers, 1 destroyer, 3 transports, coastal sub, regular sub, torpedo boat destroyer, light cruiser, heavy cruiser, light carrier, fleet carrier, 3 tacticals. Moving up. Carolines is 2 Marines, artillery, medium bomber. There is also in port a transport and a destroyer. Siam is 4 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 militia, 1 air transport, 1 seaplane, 3 fighters. Cochin China is a fighter. Kwangtung is 2 militia, 3, 6, 10 infantry, 3 mountain. Militia in Nanking, cavalry in Shantung, motorized in Sichuan, militia in Senshi, cavalry anti-aircraft gun in Rihe. Suyan is now 4 infantry, a militia, or 2 militia, 1 cavalry, cavalry in Korea. And let's see, we've got an infantry in Kyushu, Marine in Honshu, militia in Tokyo. There is 2 subs, a destroyer, torpedo boat destroyer in P-16. P-15 is a torpedo boat destroyer. There's a militia, North Manchuria, East Manchuria, and then the islands are all militias. That should be it for Japan. Next up is the Commonwealth.